Okay, so I missed the official sunrise. But here on the Highwood River, just by Highwood House, it still looked pretty awesome as the sun rose through the morning mist. I was on my way up to Highwood Pass for, strangely, the first time this summer. I'd hoped to see some wildlife, but all I found was cows. They actually looked pretty cool crossing the river. And speaking of cool, yeah, that's frost. Of course, at this elevation it can get frosty pretty much any time, but I was surprised to see it quite this heavy. And while dawdling in the shade of the mountains, freezing as I shot these pictures, I noticed that another sunrise was happening. The sun was popping over the mountains in what would be, I guess, my third sunrise of the day. The light was pretty beautiful on the peaks that surround Highwood Pass. It really brought out all the textures in the rock, especially like here on the backside of El Poca. I just love those limestone hoodoos. Given the amount of traffic up there, I'm not surprised there wasn't much wildlife along the roads, but I did find these Columbia ground squirrels. They seemed to be watching the cars go by. And of course there were tons of wildflowers. But although the day was warming, there was still a lot of frost, though it looked especially nifty on all this moss. Kind of made it look like a miniature mountain range. Back along the Highwood River on the east side of the pass, it was sunny and getting a lot warmer. And the bees were out in force. They couldn't have cared less that I was just a couple inches away from them shooting these pictures. They just love the fleabane. Yeah, it was a pretty good morning heading up to Highwood Pass. Seeing all this gorgeous alpine scenery, and looking along the river on that broad valley that rolls out of the mountains. Hard to believe I hadn't been up here already this summer, but I'm glad I picked this morning to go. It's not every day you get to see 3 sunrises.